Hi, it's me, the honeybee. Hello everybody, cecealv Honeybee here and welcome back to my channel. And boy, do I have a lot of explaining to do. So if you haven't noticed, I've actually been gone off of YouTube now for about 2 months, and the story that we're gonna get into today is part of the reason why I haven't been on. So for today's video, I thought I'd switch it up and not bore you with a regular old makeup tutorial. I know that those things can get a little bit tedious after a while, watching the same techniques over and over again. I've been told that I tell a lot of good stories, and girl, do I have a lot of stories to actually tell. So in today's video, we're gonna be doing a new installment that I'm calling Dates from Hell. Now, this is gonna be story times from previous dates that I've had that have gone completely south, and I'm not talking about your regular dinner date gone bad. I'm talking about things that don't happen to the norm. So before we start today's story time video, I definitely recommend to hit that subscribe button down below and turn on your bell notifications. That way you will be notified whenever I do decide to post a video. Okay, so saddle up, grab a snack. Actually, I wouldn't recommend grabbing a snack because some parts of today's video can get a little grotesque. But nonetheless, if you have a strong stomach, grab that snack and let's get into it. Okay, so we're gonna start the story about 1 month ago. On one glorious night, I was on my favorite app in the world, Grindr, and I was just going about my business on my phone, reading messages, responding, sending ass pics, you know, the norm. So while on the app, I get a message from this account with no profile picture whatsoever, and he says, "Hello, how are you?" And I start messaging him. So this blank profile started sending me face pictures, body pictures, other pictures that we won't be mentioning on this channel. Ass and dick. Homegirl was a little intrigued, so she said, why not, you know, entertain him? So amongst conversation, I found out that his name was, we'll call him Andrew for this story time because I don't want to be the one to expose him or anything like that, even though I'm pretty sure he's never going to see this video. So after a couple of explicit conversations, I decided, you know what, let me exchange my phone number with this guy because I actually think he's really cool. He seems really down to earth. I like where this is heading. So we exchanged phone numbers, and from there we started texting, and then from texting we started making phone calls to one another. So one thing that I have to note about Andrew is that he was Russian and he had a very thick Russian accent. I discovered that as soon as I had my first conversation with him on the phone. He told me that he came to America when he was like 18 and he came for school and just to pretty much start a better life. So me and Andrew started talking on the phone pretty frequently. We would talk to each other pretty much once a day or once every other day. But one thing that I noticed that was already a little sketchy is that he would call me really late at night. I'm talking about like 2, 3 a.m. and we would be on the phone until like 5 or 6 a.m. the next day. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this didn't really affect me too much because I am a night owl. I stay up at all times of the night. It's pretty much my time where I get most of my thinking and creative ideas down. And you know, I didn't really mind it at first, but it started becoming like a habit that I didn't really like because I saw that this wasn't normal. This wasn't what two people do, especially if they're trying to get to know each other and, you know, hopefully trying to start a relationship. So while getting to know Andrew, he told me that he lived in a small apartment with about 2 to 3 other people in Brooklyn. And he couldn't really have people over just because of the space issue, and I can't really have guests over where I live either. So I was kind of giving up on the whole thing before one day he told me that his roommates were gonna actually be leaving for a couple of days and he can have someone over. So my ass was like, hey, let me come over then. So to pretty much paint the picture for this situation, he wanted me to come over on a Thursday night and stay over until Friday morning. But the only issue is that I did have work on Friday morning at about 10 a.m. and I work on Long Island. He lives all the way in Brooklyn. But homeboy convinced me. He was like, no, it's no problem, it's no problem. I'll get you up so you go to work. That is the worst Russian accent I think I've ever done in my fucking life. Shoot me. So I said, fuck it, why not? This could possibly be my one true love. This could be the guy that I get married to one day. So on that Thursday, Andrew told me that he got off of work at 9 and that we could meet up pretty much right after that. I know what you're thinking. That's pretty much booty call hours, and I couldn't agree with you more. So around 9 o'clock rolls around, I'm just getting home from dinner, and I noticed that I hadn't gotten a text from homeboy almost all day. And at that point I was like, you know what, okay, whatever, fuck it, I'm over it. I know I'm not gonna see him. I knew it was too good to be true. So before I was about to give up all hope on this guy, he finally messages me like around 9:30 and he's like, hey, are you on your way? Bitch, how did you expect me to be on your way when you haven't even messaged me all day to give me the okay to go to you? Like, at this point, I was a little conflicted if I wanted to go or not because it was getting really late and I know that I had work the next day really early and I was getting that gut feeling that was telling me, girl, you better not go there because it is getting late, you have work the next day, you cannot do this. So at this point, I pretty much decided that I wasn't gonna go. I know that I had work early the next day and I knew that I wouldn't even get out there until like 2 a.m. And I just knew that it wasn't responsible of me. And I told him, hey, listen, I'm not gonna come tonight, I'm sorry. Do you think that homeboy took no for an answer? He was like, no, please come. I was looking forward to this night for so long now, ever since the night that I met you. Please, I really like you. I want you to come out, please. Ugh. Girl, I went out. So at this point, it was around 9:30, 10 o'clock at night when I decided, okay, I'll go out. I took a quick shower, dushed, packed a little baggie, and was on my merry little way out to Brooklyn. Now, this is the part of the story that starts getting a little voodoo, so try to keep up. Now, this is the part where I realized that I really underestimated the time that it was gonna take to get out there. So I left my house around 11 o'clock. Girl, she took one bus and 2 subways to get out to Brooklyn. She didn't get out there until 2:30 a.m. I was waiting outside of the subway station. He was texting me saying, hey, do you want any tacos? No, I want you to come and pick me up so I can go to bed. He finally shows up with his little taco baggie, and he was like, okay, are you ready? And I was like, yeah, let's go. And I was like, how long is the walk to your house from here? And he was like, oh, it's about like 10 minutes. And I was like, oh, damn, son. I'm over here carrying a bag. I'm over here carrying my purse. I was like, bitch. So we started walking towards his apartment and I quickly realized it's taking a little longer than it should be. He told me it was gonna only take 10 minutes and before I knew it, we were going on 30 minutes of walking. It was almost 3 a.m. No, actually it was 3 a.m. when we finally got to his apartment. So we get inside of his apartment building and I noticed that there was all these flights of stairs and I was like, what floor do you live on? And he's like, 5. So finally, after taking 1 bus, 2 subways, and walking 30 minutes to his apartment and going up 5 flights of stairs, we are finally to his apartment door. And I was like, oh my God, yes, I can finally go to sleep. He opens the door, we go into the apartment, I start walking down the little hallway, and we get into the kitchen. He turns on the light, roaches scatter everywhere. I was like, is this real life? Am I being punked? So as if I didn't think that was bad enough, when we were in the kitchen, I saw that there was a little couch which is a strange place to put a fucking couch. I mean, come on, what the hell? But when I saw that couch, I saw that there was a roach the size of this motherfucking mouse right there, just chilling, acting like it fucking pays rent. I turn to Andrew and say, Andrew, there's a roach, a really big roach right there just on the couch. Oh, no, it's okay, roaches don't bite, just. He literally whisked it away as if it was a fucking cat, as if it was literally a pet. At this point, I was so conflicted. I really didn't know what to do. It was 4 a.m. I had work at 10 a.m. I was all the way in Brooklyn. There's roaches everywhere in this apartment. And that's when I just snapped. I said, I can't stay here tonight. We were sitting at the kitchen and the table. Andrew was sitting across from me, eating the tacos that he got earlier from the fucking taco truck before he met up with me. And he was like, do you want one? Do you want some tea? Do you want some water? No, bitch. I want to get the fuck up out of here. Now, this is the point where I'm going to include some voice clips that I took while talking to him. They're gonna pretty much speak for themselves. So insert voice clips here. I can't fall asleep at all. Not in this place. I need to be in my own space, my own bed. I'm sorry.
It doesn't make sense what you're doing, but you're the one who has to make a decision, basically.
You know what doesn't make sense? Me having to come out here this late at night. You know what they call this in America? Booty call hours. People usually meet up at this hour to fuck. People don't meet up at this hour to fucking have tea and have tacos and fucking talk and all that shit.
The latest, just tell me the latest time. Yeah.
I don't know.
Don't tell me before 12, it's supposed to be before 11, so I can know more about your preferences.
I don't know.
So if we meet like around like after 6-7 p.m. is it fine with you, or it's not? It's not. It's
That's fine, but just like right now it's 4 a.m. and.
No, but I'm sorry, but my work finished like almost at 10 o'clock.
But that's also another thing. Like I just don't get like your whole working, because it's like I don't get your schedule at all.
All right.
Your schedule is very weird. It's like we talk every day at 2 a.m. on the phone. Nobody does that. I started looking up Uber fares to try to get back to Long Island. I knew that if I did take the subways and bus back, I wouldn't get back until like 7 a.m. So I had to just get back as soon as possible. I saw that the Uber fare was $65. And I was like, oh my God. What do I do? I only have $20 in my bank account because it was the day before payday, and you know, I pretty much live paycheck to paycheck, but that's a whole other story. At this point, I was messaging as many friends as I could that I knew would still be up around this time, and I was like, oh my God, please help me. I need to get out of this situation. This guy's gonna kill me. I'm crying in the bathroom. Please, please, please. Finally, I had 2 friends send me $20 each. And at that point, I was like, bitch, I'm out of here. Sayonara. And I got up from the table and I said, listen, Andrew, it was nice meeting you. I gotta go. Yeah. And he was like, what? What do you mean you gotta go? No, stay. Stay, come on. I wanna get to know you more. And I was like, Andrew, it's like almost 5 a.m. I gotta go to bed. And he was like, okay, then go to bed, go to bed. You could sleep on the couch. You want me to sleep on the couch in the kitchen with your fucking pet roach? I don't fucking think so. At that point, I got my bags and I got the fuck out of there. So I get outside. I see that my Uber is about 5 minutes away, and I think I'm finally in the clear. Was I wrong? Andrew comes chasing me outside, and says, no, please don't go. Please stay tonight, please. So this is the next part of the video where I'm gonna insert the last and final voice clip.
First more and to cooperate more.
It's just not gonna work.
Why? Explain me why.
Why do I need an explanation?
No, but explain me why you think it's not gonna work. What makes you think that?
Because we're just totally different people. It's just not gonna work. Like, I'm just over it right now.
Listen, I'm completely like different person when I'm not tired. Trust me.
Okay, well,
I'm more
we should have met
person.
when you weren't tired. We should have met at a normal hour.
Because
and
I
not,
thought we're gonna meet, we're gonna
2
speak, and we're gonna go to sleep. That's what I expected.
Okay, what?
That's
and
why
I was gonna go to sleep on the couch in the kitchen, and you were gonna go to sleep in your bed. I could have just stayed home for that. What was the point of me coming all the way out to Brooklyn for me to sleep on a couch in a kitchen? That makes no sense. He was going on and on and on, begging me, please, please don't go, please stay. And I said, you know what? Do you really want me to stay? Kiss me. Because up until this point, this guy didn't even touch me, kiss me, anything. So I wasn't even convinced that he really even liked me. He said, oh, no, I can't do that in public. I grew up in Russia. I can't do that in public. And I said, okay, let's go in the hallway real quick. Come on. And he's like, okay. So we go into his apartment building and we're sitting there in the hallway and I'm like, okay, kiss me. Girl, when I tell you that was possibly the worst kiss of my life, that was the worst kiss of my motherfucking life. I'm like trying to get a good kiss out of him and I figured what better way than to start kissing his neck. Maybe that will get him like in a better mood to make out. And I start kissing on his neck and I figured why not actually lick his neck, because I know I've been told that this tongue is magic. So I start kissing on his neck, I start licking it. Girl, when I tell you he tasted like he hadn't bathed in like 2 weeks. Oh, you could literally taste the bacteria on this guy's skin. It was fucking gross. I decided that was my cue to leave. Goodbye. And I said, you know, goodbye, Andrew. So on the Uber ride home, I was realizing that I had this strong, pungent taste in my mouth. And it literally tasted so gross. I couldn't wait to get home. But of course, the Uber took like almost an hour just to get back to Long Island from Brooklyn. So after being in that treacherous Uber ride, I finally get home, I go to the bathroom, I brush my teeth and my tongue. I go to my room, I lay down, and bitch, it's motherfucking morning time. It's like 6 a.m. The sun is up, the birds are singing. But I will say that I actually made it to work on time the next day. Thank God. So a day or two after meeting up with Andrew, I started getting a little bit of a sore throat, a runny nose, and I figured, you know, I was just catching a cold. A couple more days later, I can barely speak. My throat hurt so much. I was weak. I was sick as a fucking dog. I went to the doctor and he told me that I had a bacteria infection in my throat, or better known as strep throat. I got it from licking this dirty motherfucker's neck. That Russian voodoo gave me strep throat. So if there is any moral to the story, it would be go with your gut instinct. Don't go out if you have work the next day at 10 a.m. and don't lick Russian guys' necks. Thank you guys so much for sitting around and listening to this story. If you guys like these type of videos, let me know so I can make more of them. I mean, I do have a couple of more stories in mind that I've already jotted down in my little notepad and would be more than happy to share. And when I tell you that those stories are voodoo, they are straight up voodoo.
too.
I know it has been a while since I have posted my last video, but I am gonna try harder this time, guys. I really do want to put out quality content. I actually just got a new mic, that way I don't have to use my cell phone voice memos for audio. For the people who have subscribed to this channel already, I want to thank you so much. You are going to be in for some good videos in the future, and I hope you continue to stay on this journey with me. Don't forget to leave a comment down below, subscribe to my channel, turn on those bell notifications. That way, when I do decide to finally post another video, you will get notified. Oh, and one more thing. If you do want a video on this smoky eye that I had in this video, then let a bitch know so I can get to filming it. And I think that's about it. So once again, I wanted to just thank you guys, and remember, until next time, keep it buzzing.